Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Soy Silvestre López Portillo y bueno, se estrena la película XXX, reactivado o XXX, el regreso de Xander Cage. Platicamos con su director y esto fue lo que nos dijo aquí en Filmoteca. Thank you very much. Well, my first question is, how much liberty you do have to direct Vin Diesel, not also as an actor? You are directing the producer of the film.
Oh yeah, well, Vin is the producer hat and he has the actor hat. But I had a lot of freedom. We developed a really good collaborative relationship up front, and I think when Vin's on the set, he's Vin the actor. A lot of his producing he takes place like in between scenes and stuff. So it was good. It was good for me as a filmmaker because I had the support of the producer, and I had the support of the actor to make the scene the best it can be. So for me, in a way, it's sort of a dream come true because if you have a producer who doesn't think you're doing something right or wants to is just counting the time or watching
Or the money.
then you get in trouble. So for me, it was a really perfect collaboration.
Yes, there are some producers that the producing is like to play God.
Yes.
And make all the decisions. Yeah. And when you have an actor and that producer, well,
right? Yeah, it gives the director sort of a built-in bodyguard.
In the 80s and the 90s, the action films, the genre is more showing the power of the United States, for example, or in any country. Yes. Right now, what is an action film for you?
Well, I think what represents an action film is what kind of we did here in XXX is there's sort of a global feel to it. It's not about in fact, the United States in this movie is the CIA director is the one that's making all the mistakes and doing things that are wrong. So I think that was sort of a change of what happened in the 80s, because when you had the Cold War 80s films and you had all the terrorisms and all that stuff. But I think an action film today for me is sort of what we have here is sort of this individualism of each character and the globalization of movie making in that you're celebrating Donnie Yen for who Donnie Yen is. You're celebrating Deepika for who she is. Yes. And so that together, when you bring all these great characters together, Ruby Rose, when you bring them all together, the audience is understanding that this is the world they live in now. You can walk down the street in any country or any city in America now, and you're going to meet this great diverse group of people who all have accents, who don't all speak straight American. And so to me as a filmmaker, it's really just sort of the evolution of filmmaking is that the world is global now. We're all one world, one race.
It is hard to be original in an action film.
Yeah, it's hard to be original.
Yes.
Yeah. So what
you search that original script or the original character? I don't know.
Yeah, so I think to be original, what I wanted to do to set apart from the first film was like not to have Xander work alone, was to bring in this diverse group of characters that are similar to him, and Sam has this group. But I think what you do is for me is like, okay, as a filmmaker, when I was dreaming up these action sequences, I was like, okay, you've seen people ski, but you've never really seen them ski in the jungle, right? Mm-hmm. You've seen motorcycles do a lot of things, but you've never seen them ride on the lake and go in the ocean. You've never seen a motorcycle used in a mixed martial arts motorcycle fight. And so what I think you do is you see familiar things as an audience member, but when you experience them in this movie, they're a bit outrageous, but they're taking things that are familiar and giving them a little twist that makes them unique.
As a filmmaker, what is they say editing for a director is a painful part. For you?
Editing is not painful unless you have a sequence that is not working. Okay. But I think the first 10 weeks of editing in the director's cut are really free and liberating because nobody's watching you. You go in the room, you lock yourself in with your editor or editors in this case, and you really just start to create and play, and you find the tone and you shape the movie in such a great way. Then after that, when people see it and there's comments here and comments there, that's when editing gets to be a little bit of not as free for a filmmaker.
I know it's part of the job, but you don't miss, I don't know, make an independent film just for you, just for bodies. Oh. Get away from this.
I did. I made a little movie called Standing Up, which we made for $1.5 million, which dealt with sort of bullying of kids. And I shot the movie in 15 days, in 3 weeks. And one of the best experiences I ever had. It got to Netflix. It never got a big release, but to me, just as satisfying, and personally, it's very satisfying. Yes. To make a film like that, and I think if you're blessed enough to balance both things, then that's what you need to do.
It's back to the basics.
It's back to the basics, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.